stars. Didn't even get to bronze.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy, the DMD, and today I'm coming at you guys with the deck list that I completed my 6-week league over at a shop about an hour from me. I got first place, winning this awesome Dark Magician mat. I kind of wanted to give you guys this update because it's been a minute and I've been playing this deck pretty much the entire format, and I just kind of wanted to let you guys see what it is that I'm playing. So, just without further ado, there's not really much to get into, so I'll just most of this is pretty much standard at this point from me. So starting off first, we've got 3 copies of Ray, excuse me, and 2 copies of Rose. These are your starters. I go back and forth on whether or not I want to play a 3rd Rose. Inevitably, I probably will end up playing a 3rd Rose because the name of the game is seeing a starter. If you can see a starter, you can play the game. So maybe the 3rd Rose inevitably will come in. For the hand traps, we've got 3 Ash because it's the most generic. 3 Bell. This is for Splight, somewhat for Tearlament. This is also for Branded, a little bit less so because if they have Branded Lost Up, you can't really respond to Branded in Red. This is much better for Branded in Red. 2 copies of DD Crow, and then the 1 copy of Ghost Ogre. I want to play more Ghost Ogres, but I simply do not have room. So because of that, I have to play just 1. Moving on into the Striker spells, I'm playing the 3 Widow Anchor. I cut down to 2 copies of Shark Cannon because I think, even though this card is really good right now, I had to make decisions, and this card was the one that ended up just being a little bit less than suboptimal. So I'm playing 2. I'm playing the 1 Eagle Booster, the 1 Multi-Roll, the 1 Area Zero, the 1 Hornet Drones, the 1 Afterburner, and of course the best card in the deck, the 1 Engage. This is not really changed. Moving on to the more generic spells, we're playing 1 Terraforming, just to search out Area Zero, and 3 Forbidden Droplet. So I really like Forbidden Droplet because of the fact that you can just blank boards. The fact that it dumps spells into your graveyard isn't really a bad thing. It's a good thing because it helps your engage count. So, I don't know. I love Droplet in this deck. I think it's very strong and it helps you out cards that are like untargetable. So, things like Dragoon, blah, blah, blah. This just helps deal with. The 1 copy of Rhoda to get to Ray. Then, of course, for the consistency cards, 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. You have to play this in order to play this deck. Like, I do not recommend playing it without Prosperity because it's a lot less consistent. And you need to be able to see the cards that you need. You need to be able to see your starters to play the game. And if you don't see your starters to play the game, you can't play the game. So, 3 Prosperity and 2 Desires. I know this might seem like it conflicts, but you just need as much raw card advantage and as much tempo as you can possibly establish because we are not playing Mystic Mine. So I wanted to see if I could play this deck without playing Mystic Mine, and I ended up that I can. I just need to be able to control the game state enough with enough resources that I can just do more than my opponent can. So, moving on to the final spells, 2 copies of Offerings to the Doomed. This card is absolutely bonkers against Splight. You just pop their normal summon, and then they do absolutely nothing. So, basically, whenever they, if you have Ash plus this, you can cut them off from starter. You can just Ash their Splight starter, and then when they go to normal summon, you can just chain this and pop their card and they pass turn. It's really funny, especially now with Rodent Totem Band, and they're moving off of the Frog engine a little bit. This is really, really good to just blank their entire turn. And then finally, for the final 3 hand traps, we are playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. This card will always be good. Well, maybe not always be good, but this card baits negates. It makes it to where your opponent has to really be mindful of their column placement, which actually that comes up a lot, and people just mistakenly put things in an imperm column, and I've won games by them doing that by itself. So I think this card's insanely good. Maybe not the best it's ever been positioned in the entire format, but I think this card's really, really strong either way. You'd notice there's no Mystic Mine in the main deck. There is a reason for that. Like I said, I wanted to see if I could play this deck without Mystic Mine, and it turns out, well, I won this awesome Yugi Dark Magician map. So all I had to do was just play against meta, including Sprite, Tearlament, and a couple other decks for 6 weeks, and I won this map. So, you know, you don't have to play Mine. I think Mine is mid, actually. Because people are maining and siding outs to it, so, you know, it's whatever. Moving on to the extra deck. I'm playing 3 Kagari. That's literally the most standard thing in the book. 3 copies of Shizuku. 3 copies of Hayate. I actually side the 3rd Hayate out in games 2 and 3 if I'm playing, if I feel like I want to side in Super Poly, because I'm playing Garura in my extra deck, or in my side deck, rather. So I'll side one of this out and the 3 Super Poly into my main deck. The 1 Kaina, this card's funny because it wins in time, and it also can actually really come up when you're like trying to not die, because you want to summon this and then like stop a monster your opponent has from attacking, which is actually kind of relevant. 2 Zeke. Zeke is a really good card, just being able to clear threats, especially if you Widow Anchor your opponent's monster and then Zeke another one off their board. It just helps you clear boards. And then finally, the Hita, the Selene, and the Access Code. Obviously, the Hita used to be the Halqifibrax, but Halqifibrax is now in the Gulag forever. So, yeah, that's what it is. Kind of sad to see how it go, but I kind of understand, honestly, why it was banned. And then the 1 Striker Ace token. I would get a little bit into my side deck, but I kind of have a regional coming up, and I don't really want to drop that just yet. So I'll leave it at that, and just I'll see what you guys think about this list in the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And it's at DMD, and your boy's out. See ya.
Didn't even get to bronze.